Hiya folks, it's Kikoskia here. I hope you're doing well this day. A while ago I asked for suggestions for what game would replace Quest for Glory 2. I also asked what game would replace Stray on my Patreon. By the way, there's a link to the description of the Patreon if you want to join. That is where, among other things, you get to suggest games for the shortlist for the Patreon suggested vote, which is one of the two votes that is going on now. And may I mention, while I'm thinking about the vote, that this was all made possible by Cav. Come on, Cav, come out. Accept your dues. There you are. Thanks, Cav. You're awesome. And now you're probably going to hide, aren't you? Oh, yes, there he goes. There are a couple of things I need to mention about how the voting process will go on. There is a link in the description that will bring you to where you vote, and there are two votes. One for the game that will replace Quest for Glory 2, and one that will replace Stray. Now, the Quest for Glory 2 one has a lot more choices. There were generally a lot more games suggested in the community shortlist, but all the suggestions are pretty fantastic. Now, first we will go through the rules on how the vote works. First off, you are not limited to voting for just a single game. If multiple games are things you want to see, feel free to vote for all of them. Also, don't be disheartened if the game you vote for doesn't win. I keep all of the games that are suggested in mind as future games to play. And of course, popular games will continue to remain popular, and so will likely appear again in a future vote. In the case of close votes, multiple games can win at my discretion, and I will play those games sequentially. This is what happened with the Dark Side Detective and Stray, and with the return of the Obra Dinn and Quest for Glory 2. To reiterate, by the way, this is a double vote. It's for two separate Let's Play slots, so vote for both! And you are not experiencing deja vu when you look at the list. Legend of Grimrock 2 does appear twice. It was just something that both communities wanted, so it gets two chances. If it happens to win in both slots, we'll promote another game to win. Voting will last for a week through to February the 14th, and we will announce the winner once it is concluded. As for the games you can vote for, the game that follows from Quest for Glory 2 will be one of the following. There is Ultima 7, The Black Gate, a replay of a game that I played a long time ago. The original LP was in 2009, and it has glorious 360p video quality, and the audio quality that comes with it. I would definitely play the game differently. Hopefully better. Hopefully I wouldn't skip that plot point right at the beginning. And I'd likely take different companions. It would also entail the expansion that is incorporated into Ultima 7, but this is not for Serpentile as well. It's just for a replay of Ultima 7 The Black Gate. Then there is Quest for Glory 3, Wages of War. We're currently playing the second game. Why not just go straight into the third afterwards? Certainly something I wouldn't be opposed to. I've heard good things about Quest for Glory 3. Then there is Legend of Grimrock 2. The first one is a game I played a long time ago and really enjoyed. This is a follow-up in name, but not in party. I would create a different party to adventure in the strange land, the secluded Isle of Nex. There are ruins, puzzles, dungeons, farming. Yes, farmer is a class that you can pick. And then there is Lands of Lore, Guardians of Destiny, the sequel to the original Lands of Lore, the Throne of Chaos. This will be a replay of one of the oldest Let's Plays I've done. The oldest was Lands of Lore 1, and then shortly afterwards was Stonekeep, Albion, and Lands of Lore 2. Stonekeep and Albion have both had replays, but not Lands of Lore 2. And this would be a special one, for I would be playing the evil playthrough, which does change quite a few things about the plot. Have you ever wondered what would happen if Luther decided to use his power for evil and self-gain? You'll find out in that playthrough. There's also Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, a classic point-and-click adventure game set in 1939. where Indiana Jones has to save the world and, surprise, surprise, discover what happened to Atlantis. This is a 1992 game that I have never played before. I've seen bits of it, but I've never played it. So it would be a new experience for me. One I would probably bumble through, like I always do, but I'm looking forward to the prospect of being able to play it. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to play all these games, including the next one, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Oh yes! The 2004 game that is held together with taffy and hope, that is the quintessential vampire RPG. And I've only played a bit of it in the past. I don't know what kind of vampire I'd play and what sort of angle my powers would be aimed at. I'm only sad that you can't play as a caitiff. That is by far my favourite type of vampire in the lore of that setting. But I'm sure I'll figure something out. Halloween would definitely have to help me find a way to make sure that game actually functions. He's an expert at that. There's also Shining Force 2, a game from 1994. Shining Force 2. I actually have the Shining in the Darkness RPG for the Mega Drive. Managed to get that quite cheap many years ago, but I am rambling there. Shining Force 2 is a classic of the genre, and it's one, again, that I've never played, so looking forward to the prospect of being able to play that. And speaking of looking forward to being able to play games, Cave Story. There is either the 2004 or the 2011 one. Oh, that is a game that I've seen a fair bit of, never played it though. Fantastic music, fantastic gameplay, great plot. I'm not the best at platformers. This is when people who've watched me stream Shovel Knight protest, but I don't think I'm that good at them. But I'll give it my all. And finally, for the community list of games, told you it was a long one, Beyond a Steel Sky. The sequel to Beneath a Steel Sky. People have told me it's pretty good. And I did buy it a while ago, but I never got round to playing it. What better opportunity than if it was voted on? What happened to Foster? What happened to Joey? What happened to Union City? Probably bad things in the case of Union City, but there's only one way to find out, and that would be to play it. As for the Patreon vote for the game to follow after Stray, Legend of Grimrock is one of the 5 options, so I will briefly skim over that, but it is there. Then there is West of Loathing. Now, some people would think, is that related to Kingdom of Loathing? Yes, it is! It's a single-player slapstick comedy adventure role-playing game set in the Wild West of the Kingdom of Loathing. It's very silly. I think it's a game I also own in some capacity, but again, never got round to playing. This happens a lot with games I buy. Then there is Dungeons & Dragons Warriors of the Eternal Sun, a role-playing game for the Mega Drive set in the Hollow World setting. And oh my, is it a mess. A hot mess of awesome music, great graphics, and questionable gameplay, as it uses the D&D basic rule set and doesn't implement it properly. Oh, it's an experience, but it's an interesting experience. And I'm looking forward to the prospect of creating a new adventuring party. Then there is The Outer Wilds, a game I don't really know anything about from 2019. People have been recommending it to me for quite a while, and it would be interesting to see what it's all about. Apparently it's got something to do with a time loop. And time loops are always interesting when it comes to a narrative. And finally, there is 6 Ages Ride Like the Wind, the sequel to King of Dragon Pass, that actually takes place thousands of years before King of Dragon Pass. It's been a long time since I played King of Dragon Pass, and I have never played 6 Ages, and I can guarantee to you I would be absolutely dreadful at it. But I'll give it my all. I'll give it my all if it's voted for. One thing that is not present in either of these votes is hardcore Minecraft, and I know a fair few people suggested it, but there are 2 reasons why it's not here. First off, most importantly, I really don't feel like playing it at the moment, and a will to want to play a game is incredibly important. If I played hardcore Minecraft right now, it would be half-hearted, and I wouldn't be that excited or enthused, and it would definitely show in the content I create. Secondly, I think it would actually be much better as a stream game at the moment. But I'm not saying it will never be touched again. I'm just saying that right now, it's a soft veto. I do keep it in mind, but I've not had that urge to play Minecraft. I've just not had the urge to. And those are your choices, both for the game to replace Quest for Glory 2 and the game to replace Stray. Make sure you vote for both, and remember, you can vote for multiple things, and I may play one game after another if multiple games get very close in score. Also remember that Grimrock 2 is in both votes, and if it wins both, I will pick something else. And I think that's pretty much it. Don't think there's anything else. Oh yeah, I have to remind you, voting ends on February the 14th. So you've got plenty of time. And I think that is it. Yep. Nothing else for me to... What? What is it, Cav? What? I should ask about that? You sure? Alright, if you say so. Cav is reminding me, thanks Cav by the way. Oh, and he's gone again. Cav is reminding me to mention that I've been thinking about creating a little bit of extra content concerning the Space Marine chapters that I have been working on. The Avatars Resplendent, and their all primaris successor chapter, the Marines Xtreme. I've had some art commissioned, absolutely fantastic art for the backdrop of potential videos, where I would talk not just about the lore of the chapters that I've come up with, but also generally about me and my journey through Warhammer 40,000. If people want to see some videos on that, let me know. I'd be very happy to make some videos. They may even have music. I know! Shocking. Kiko actually improving his production values? It does happen occasionally. With a little bit of prodding. Look at you, Cav. And that's pretty much it. Please vote for the games that you want to see, and hopefully the ones you want will win. And even if they don't win, we'll probably see them again at some point. And if you enjoy my videos in general, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not, and if you are subscribed, press that bell for those notifications. And if you want to be involved in the suggestions for the Patreon vote, you can pledge to my Patreon, link to which is in the description. And I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later.